Well, here at the Aussie Wire, we have a big international focus, especially now going into 2024 as we grow and we begin to expand our horizon around the world. Now, someone that I've been wanting to get on the Aussie Wire for quite some time is a man I had the pleasure of meeting in Sydney last year. He's from Japan. His name is Mr. Yuki Oikawa, and he brings us some big news out of Japan at the moment. Mr. Oikawa, thank you so much for joining us here on the Aussie Wire.
Thank you very much. Topa, again, I really appreciate the last time we met in Sydney and you accepted the opportunity interviewing with you. And I posted your interview on my YouTube channel, which was very popular among Japanese
Well,
listeners. Thank you very much.
I'm very grateful that you did, and I'm especially grateful that you've agreed to come on and bring us up to speed with some concerning developments in Japan. And I think it's worth bringing to the Aussie Wire audience, which is obviously mostly English speaking, but I think perspective is really important. And to understand that the fights that we're facing right now are unfortunately replicated in Japan. But the good news is, of course, so is the push back and the fight back. So would you please update us? What's happening in Japan with the World Health Organization, the pandemic treaty, and also with a very concerning amendment to your constitution? Take it away.
Okay. If I look back 1 year ago, the beginning of the last year, almost nobody realized that this issue in Japan. Actually, I was doing the YouTube activity in Japanese language, and I focused on this problem, and gradually the people got interest in this issue. However, the Japanese mainstream media always ignore this subject.
Yeah.
And in WHO, World Health Organization, the part of the United Nations, which must be good. So that is the Japanese people's mind. So the problem is the almost nobody got interest in this issue. And then I had a plan to set up the big convention to discuss this problem among the Japanese experts. So we had this convention in the last year, October in the city called Osaka. They're collecting over 1,300 people to join this event.
Wow.
So people realize, wow, what's happened? And we learned the basic knowledge of the pandemic treaty and amending the international health regulations of WHO. So, and also I share your experience, what's happened in Melbourne, with Japanese people. So people got more realistic and also dangerous the feeling through this convention. And then right after this convention, one of the lecturer in this convention is the member of the parliament, Japanese parliament, and also the former minister of internal affairs of Japan. He's a great man. He's called Mr. Haraguchi. Mr. Haraguchi. He promised that I'm going to create the caucus and the parliament members caucus in Japanese parliament to discuss this issue, and he launched this caucus, special caucus in Japanese parliament. And now we with many medical or scientific experts, and also including journalists like me, with the member of parliament, we discussed this issue. We just launched that activity.
Amazing.
However, and unfortunately, the Japanese government side is very positive to joining pandemic treaty.
Of course.
So that's our problem.
Yeah. Look, it's a problem that's replicated around the world. There is a minority of people within most countries around the world now. And obviously, based on what you're saying there, it's largely thanks to your work, and I applaud you for that, that there is a minority of people that are aware, but not enough yet. But the fact is, we've come from nowhere where almost no one was aware of this problem. And I certainly wasn't the first one to become aware of it in Australia. I'm aware of it thanks to the hard work of other people that brought it to people's attention. And I came across it and went, hang on, what's this thing? It's only thanks to their work that I know about it, and thanks to your work that people in Japan know about it. And increasingly, I think we can build our numbers and start to create pushback. But in Japan, unfortunately, based on what you've been communicating with me, and I so appreciate you reaching out, you've got another problem now with the Japanese government wanting to put emergency powers into the Japanese constitution, which, may I say, based on my personal experience, is very concerning.
Oh, that's a huge problem at the moment, and the many people worrying about that. We have a constitution, the Japan's constitution, which never been amended since the
Wow.
launch. This is one of the oldest national constitution in the world
Right.
to be never changed.
Yeah.
That's why the Japanese politician and especially the Japanese prime minister uh, would like to change the constitution because that could be a history. The first man. So they want to be a first man to change Japanese constitution. And then the many prime minister, many politicians tried in the past. But now they focus on the national emergency article. So national emergency, it's easier for Japanese people to accept. Oh, the emergency, that's okay. So we always obey government. So that is the kind of a traditional Japanese people's the way of thinking. However, the Japanese people are not aware of how dangerous it is. So we going to start the new parliament end of this month, January. And Japanese Prime Minister Mr. Kishida is now preparing the proposal, how change and how to include the emergency clause into Japanese the constitution.
Can I ask?
And our side,
Sorry, do you know roughly when that vote is likely to happen? Is it going to take another year before it becomes a... Actually, no, sorry, a more fundamental question, because I don't know how the Japanese system works. When you change your constitution, does that have to go to a referendum? Do people vote on that, or is it a parliament vote?
you're right. You're right. We need a national people's referendum.
Right. And so when is
After
that likely to
after
happen?
after yeah, after Parliament decided.
Right. So it could be this year. It could be in 2024.
That we don't know. We don't know.
Don't know.
So
Yeah,
could
okay.
be next year. They need to provide the time for Japanese people to understand and decide. So maybe next year.
Well, Mr. Oikawa,
Maybe.
I know that you're going to be
Mhm.
working very hard to help the Japanese people understand what's at stake here. And if there's anything that I can do and anything that the Aussie Wire can do to help you to be able to communicate that to your people, then consider us to be very willing to help in any way, however small it may be. And if I can get across to Japan this year, especially with you've very kindly got your team translating my book, Good People Break Bad Laws, into Japanese, and I do hope to be able to come to Japan to be able to launch that over there. And maybe that might be an opportunity to help the Japanese people understand what's at stake here. But for now, Mr. Oikawa, thank you so much for bringing us this news. It's not happy news, but it is nonetheless encouraging to know that there are people fighting back all over the world. There are people waking up all over the world. Mr. Oikawa, thank you so much for coming on the Aussie Wire.
Thank you, Topher.